Hi, welcome to Business Influencers. Hope everyone is having a great week. Again, you just found us here at TALRadio, and we highly encourage you to also follow us on Apple, Spotify, and also our YouTube channel here at TALRadio. Business Influencers now is going into its third year, and we want to thank you again, all of you listeners, each and every week supporting the show. As the show continues to grow, it's because of you, and we are committed to helping you grow this growing your level of influence by bringing in subject matter experts, sharing the words of wisdom and insight to help elevate your level of influence to the business that you deserve to take to the next level. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a new social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types, an opportunity to rekindle old relationships and perhaps meet new people for the first time. Now, this is a membership program. It means takes all the noise out of social media. So no more of those noisy notifications. You get to come in and generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose and the content yet you wish to share. Feel free, if you'd like to check out more information about Alumni Direct. They also offer a wide array of different services available to you both on a professional and personal level, not available to the general public. You can check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about how your leadership image builds your success. Yes, image is important. And we are here with Sharon Burstein, and we are going to be talking today just about that. And, she is a global leadership image motivational speaker, award-winning author, executive leadership trainer, and consultant. Through her companies and professional career, she has worked in all facets of strategic marketing, corporate communications, event management, and public affairs with hundreds of thousands of people. Her work has been recognized as being innovative, creative, and unique, and she's designed campaigns and programs to enhance branding and increase market share. Throughout her career, she has been responsible for creating marketing, development of media, special events, public relations, television, and film, and has developed and produced and marketed diverse television programs and specials for a variety of demographic markets. She is a top global motivational speaker and trainer in leadership image, teamwork, confidence, and success, innovation, and the creator of the Leadership Summit America, which is coming up. And if you are in the Albany area or anywhere in the tri-state area, definitely want to check that out. And we'll give you more information about that here later. Olympic Leadership Boot Camp, and uniquely you, putting women first, the power of possible signature thought conferences, and publisher of Lake George Living Magazine. Now I can keep going on and on, as she is the president and CEO of Sharon Burstein International, LLC. But without further ado, we welcome Sharon to the show. Sharon, how you doing today?
I'm doing just great, Chris, and thank you for having me on your wonderful show.
We are such a pleasure to have you. And I know that this great event is coming up, Leadership Summit America. And, each and every year, it brings in not only dynamic speakers sharing content, that helps to elevate people's leadership and their businesses to the next level, but it's the people itself that you always bring in. It's such a diversity group of people, all professionals, and so looking forward to that personally, as again, looking forward to be serving again as a speaker at your event.
Well, thank you, Chris. And yes, it's year 8. It's hard to believe it. Leadership Summit America is now in year 8. And the great thing is you're coming back. I think this is your 4th trip
Yes.
visiting with us. Everybody loves Chris Salem, by the way, for everybody who is listening. And you will want his words of wisdom, and you get to see him in person when you come and connect with him when you come to Leadership Summit America, March 21 and 22. But we'll talk more about that. But Chris, you're right. I'm all about building leadership success, leadership image, and it's people like you, because leadership has so many facets in different areas. So with Leadership Summit America, we're able to all take our strengths and give people this incredible, just wonderful package that you can't get anywhere else in the country, probably anywhere else in the world. And thanks to you for being part of that.
Well, we so look forward to it. And again, we highly encourage everybody that's listening, be part of this event. Even if you got to fly in, it's worth it. You can come right into Albany. The event is right around the corner from the airport. Yes, And even Jeff Hoffman, former CEO of Priceline.com, comes year after year to speak at Sharon's events. So this is a must-attend event. We hope that you can be here, especially if you are within driving distance in the tri-state area, not far from Albany. So
Absolutely.
feel free to reach out to Sharon, and we'll make sure that she gets you that contact information. So Sharon, let's dive right into leadership image. When we look at, especially in this world with so many things going on, so many companies kind of just dealing with all this uncertainty and all this things that are going on in the industry, a lot of things beyond your control. It's imperative that leaders really step up. Let's talk about the importance of image as it applies here and why that's so important.
Well, actually, Chris, leadership image really is about 80% of your success in being a leader. Now, that's really incredible. 80% is really about your image, because leadership is what you do. Your leadership image is who you are. And just like you, myself, and everybody who's listening on this, you have your own DNA and you have your own leadership image that is unique. It's your own special sauce, and it's unique to you. But it's learning how to uncover and discover those elements and make them work for you. And that's what I do. And I work with people, individuals, corporations, people of all ages and backgrounds around the world, helping them really cultivate their leadership image. And just like, if we were taking an exam, Chris, I can't cheat from you. You can't cheat from me, because your leadership image is unique to you. And when you understand your style of leadership, all the elements that go with leadership image, then it really propels you forward to be so much more productive and effective in your career, leadership, and life.
So true. Love it. Love it. Well, let's just talk about, when it comes to image, so let's say some people are hearing this now, maybe for the first time. Maybe they've heard of image, but never kind of put two and two together with leadership. And what are some steps right now, as individuals and even as businesses of any size, what they can be doing to really step up their image? What can they be doing right now?
Well, there are a lot of things you can do. First of all, leadership does not come with a title. Let's be very clear about that. Nor does respect. Respect is earned. Sometimes people say, I'm a leader, you have to respect me. No, that's not true. I may have to listen to you and follow a direction. Doesn't mean I respect you.
That's so true. Yes.
And so let's be perfectly clear with that. So lots of times people throw they're great employees in new roles. And let's just say, for instance, take sales. Somebody in sales has been great, knocking it out of the ballpark. And management says, we're going to bring that person into management. We're making you, into a great leadership role. We're putting you in a director role. And you've got all this team of people. Well, great. You've just given somebody a title. But if you haven't given them the tools they need to succeed, then actually you've probably set them up for failure. So what is it? First of all, the person may have believed in themselves in their sales role, but they don't believe they're a leader. So first of all, it doesn't matter what you're doing. First and foremost, you have to believe in yourself. You have to have the confidence in yourself as a person and in your leadership abilities, because everybody can spot a fake. Let me ask you, Chris, you're a parent, right?
Yes.
Can your son spot, it's a son, right?
Yes.
Can your son spot a phony?
He can. Even at his age, he can kind of pick up on that. And, and once in a while, we'll kind of say, Dad, there's something about that person. Right.
Or even something you're saying. It doesn't ring true. Even kids can spot it. So that's why, so believing in yourself, having confidence, those shoulders need to go back. If you're giving directions and you're all hunched over, you're not making eye contact. Those are some of the first very elementary elements that really start to build leadership. Because if you and I are not looking at each other when we're speaking, I'm looking away and I may not be using a lot of inflection, or positivity in my voice that really, brings you in, because you can also have inflections in your voice that make people want to go away. A lot
Correct.
of it can also be where you place the inflection on which word. And sometimes when I'm doing training, I'll take one sentence. You change the inflection on different words, and it has a complete difference. So sometimes you need to be conscious. But the elements of your leadership image really comprise, first, of believing in yourself, but how you dress, how you speak, how you walk, and how you communicate. And again, depending on what your profession or what you're doing, it may be different. But bottom line is, always be neat, always be clean, always be dressed, speak in complete sentences, not in slang, no matter where you are or who you are, but speak in complete sentences, because those are things that will really help to take you much further. As my grandmother used to say, being organized, being dressed well doesn't take a lot of money. Being clean, just all of those things. It begins with you. Do you want to be? How successful do you want to be? Are you leading because somebody said you have to lead, or are you leading because you genuinely want to lead?
So true. I love that. And what some of the things that really stood out for me, like you said, like when, do we look confident? We making that eye contact, or our shoulders, again, we're our back is straight. We're not rounding our shoulders or looking away. And that maybe if I had my hands open while I'm looking at you, I'm bringing you in, I'm including you in to my energy, and vice versa. Yeah. Like
Exactly. If you're hugging yourself or have those arms crossed, you're not letting people in. So you want to be using those arm gestures, but an occasion pat on the back. I mean, we all know that we're trying not to be too personal with people, but some reassurance sometimes is not a bad thing. If you feel more comfortable, put your hand on the chair behind the person and just kind of bring them in, look them in the eye. You can give a compliment. But the biggest strength of leaders is not in speaking, although you and I are both speakers.
Yes.
The strength in leadership is really in listening. Learn to listen to learn. You will always learn much more when you listen to people. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, by the way.
I love that. I know it's so funny that you share that today, Sharon. I remember today I was speaking at a law firm in New Jersey, and now, of course, you go in thinking, okay, I'm going to talk about this, and you have kind of an outline, a flow, what you're going to do. Then you ask a question, and then somebody in the audience says something, and it was kind of profound. Like, see, everyone perked up. Now I have to respond and really hone in on that. Now, that could have taken me off of my flow of my rest of my talk. And most speakers might just go right back to their flow and just not really heard what that was said, but not really related to and understood. But great leaders can adapt and pivot to go to find out what's most important. So it's not following maybe a script that you had, but knowing how to adapt in that moment to somebody like that person felt included, felt important, and that brought engagement from everybody else around. So when you said that kind of just stuck in my head there.
Well, absolutely. You're totally right, Chris. I mean, there's so many speakers or leaders who may have canned speeches, or, if you're doing a leadership, they've got their set script and this is what they're saying to their group. But, as a speaker, as a leader, it's like live theater. Think of it as live theater. We've all seen live theater on stage. Those actors every night, as opposed to something that's pre-recorded where you don't see people. But if you are doing live theater, the lines that you deliver each night are going to be received very differently. Where somebody laughs, you could be the same place on stage.
Yeah.
It may get a laugh, it may get a roar the next time. But, while you're delivering that, a good actor is also looking in the audience, as is a good speaker. Are you connecting? Because if something is changed, or you see that something you've said either resonates or causes question or cause for pause, you need to be able to adapt, just like you said you did today. And you need to be able to pull that whole talk and put it aside. You know exactly where you're going, but you know by just looking around that this is an area that we really need to concentrate on. And a good leader will also do that. They will read their team, whether they are all together or remotely, to be able to do that. So you need to be looking and listening and really communicating, and also trying to bring people to communicate together.
Yeah, so true. I love that. So important. And talk a little bit about, Sharon, important with image, that this isn't something that you do, once in a while here and there. Why is it so important that that image be consistent, not only like inside your company or whatever that may be internally, but then how that reflects outward as well?
Absolutely. I mean, people will always see you before they hear you, even on the street. People will start to form images of you walking down the street about who you are. Might be, are you successful or not? Now, sometimes there's a time to be dressed and a time to be casual. But I'll bet today you didn't walk in with some sloppy t-shirt and
No.
torn jeans and
Well, now I had a jacket too, so now I'm not like how I am now.
exactly. There's a time and a place. If you were, let's say, on some big, ranch or something, you wouldn't be going in with a sports jacket and tie. Everybody would look at you and go, okay, who's this city slicker? Conversely, if you kind of walked in with cowboy boots and stuff, in most places of the country, Texas, maybe you do. But bottom line is, if you dress inappropriately for where you are, that's going to start to set the tone and stage. And I've had things through the years. We all dress a little bit more casually, especially since COVID. But there was a time, especially right up until COVID, that there were certain things that you always wore, woman or man, you wore a suit. You wore a suit. So let me give you an example. A number of years ago, when I first started my PR and media companies, I'd been looking to work with the mayor in New York. And I'd gotten a call from his admin one day and said, Sharon, mayor would love to see you. Great. I was having probably the only casual day I had had. I remember what I had. It was a beautiful sweater and silk blouse. It was a lovely wool challis skirt and nice flats. But was it appropriate to go visit the mayor? Absolutely not. So I said, could I have, I've got a call that I have coming in. Could I be over there in 30 minutes? They said, yes. I dashed home. I changed into a blue suit, heels, and got back down there. And we had our meeting. Bottom line is, if I was casual and he was talking about this very large project, I don't think he would have taken me seriously. So lesson learned in that particular case was, after that, I always kept a suit in my closet, in my office, with heels, so that regardless of where I needed to be. Same thing if you're out in some rural area. If I show up in a suit, it's going to intimidate people. You have to know who you are doing, but there is no substitute for being put together well, whether you're casual or in a complete business. You don't want to be all untucked and sloppy, wrinkled, whether you're casual or business, because it's going to reflect on somebody taking you seriously or not. And increasingly, I find that in that 20s to 30s group, we have some work to do to get them to understand that how people accept a lot of the things that they are saying. You need to be a little neat. Doesn't mean you can't be casual, but you have to be put together.
So true. And, when I look at, organizations, even starting at the people level, Greg said, regardless of title, doesn't matter it's like when I think about customer experience and you look at customer satisfaction levels, it's always you could always equate it to the image that it's projected. It's projected not only in just maybe in your what's written about your company, but it's found in your communication, your behavior, your attitude, how you respond to situations and people rather than react, and the action that you take to follow through. Would that be safe to say that that image plays a big role in that?
Absolutely. Every element plays into that. How you respond, how you speak, act, dress, how you communicate, when you communicate. Are you an effective communicator? Again, are you listening? Are you allowing people to speak? Sometimes people are all about hearing their own voice and don't take time to truly sit back and really listen. And that is so, so important, to be able to listen, because that's what's going to help you understand and get people's opinions, and also not to intimidate. I mean, you want to create, and it depends too. Everybody, or every leader, every company, every organization has a corporate culture. What is that corporate culture? Does everybody understand that corporate culture from the top to the bottom and the bottom up? Because that's where it starts, top down, bottom up. But if you have that corporate culture or your mission statement or taglines, and you don't really filter that down, then people don't understand that. And another thing that companies or leaders don't understand is everybody who works for you is a great ambassador. So if you are hiding and keeping things from them, then you're doing yourself, your team, and the company a disfavor, because each of those people, when they're out in public or talking, like you and I are having a conversation, somebody asks you about what are you doing, what's going on with your company or your job, you know exactly what's going on. And you can speak confidently about what's going with that. But also writing. Let's make sure that you write in full sentences. We text a lot with shorter sentences, but when you are writing, learn to write. Another thing, and I know you do the same thing, you and I both send a lot of handwritten notes. That makes such a difference.
Yeah, so true. I love that, what you've shared. It's so, so important. I mean, what would be like if somebody is just like, like hearing this and now finally connecting the dots to what true leadership image is? Maybe they kind of understand a few things that were shared, but now like, wow, now I know how to type. What do you recommend? I mean, does it is it something that, does it start from the top down in an organization, where if it's an individual that you're choosing now to not only show up that way in your role as a business person or a leader, if you're a speaker, that type of thing, but it shows up in every role and duties that you have as a human being?
It absolutely does. And I mean, leadership does not come with a title. I mean, depends on the type of leader you are. When you're leading, are the people below you that you're supposed to be leading, are they there because they have to be there? Or are they clamoring to be under you because they know you are a great mentor and you are going to help teach them and pull them along and help propel them? Because a great leader knows it's not about them. Great leadership is about building others and other effective teams. Because the more your team shines, the more everybody is going to shine and grow and really be encouraging. If you set a tone of fear and your voice is very commanding, well, that can be a little intimidating. It's not really encouraging. So really what kind of environment are you trying to really have with people? But great leaders are all about building the people behind them, because you know what? There's always going to be somebody who's going to take on your role someday. So have that person be, great, because if you are then promoted, the company and you all want everything to continue to succeed. And if you're part of a growing organization, that's imperative. It's actually imperative whether it's a small, medium, or large corporation.
Yeah. Wow. Love what you're sharing there. Sharon, just some critical information. We hope that you listeners, now that you're listening to this, take notes. Go back, listen to this show in its entirety here. Also, you sometimes you hear something that you maybe heard the first time, but you hear it differently the second time, and it really resonates. I know I've got some great insights that I'm picking up from sharing here, and you're going to be learning more how you can get in touch with her shortly. Anything else that you would like to elaborate as we get towards the end of the show, Sharon? Anything else that we didn't discuss that you feel is imperative to this message that you would like to share with the audience that really brings this home about leadership image for success?
Well, leadership again is about strength, understanding, courage, and sacrifice. And, leadership, everybody wants to be the leader when everything is going right. Hey, that was my idea. But how many people hide when something goes wrong and you can't find anybody who wants to take that responsibility? So sometimes leaders, it's about having the courage. It's about having the courage to step up and stand out and make some of those tough decisions because, whether you are a leader in your business, whether you're a parent, even if you aren't a parent, we've had parents, who are around us. Bottom line is you have to have the courage to make maybe an unpopular decision at the time. But that's the decision that ultimately that we have to live with, at least for now, and we have to work with. And we still have to pull together as a team, even though it may not be the popular choice.
Wow. Powerful information. I know we got more to expand on that with you, Sharon. Next time we get you back on the show, we could do a follow-up to this and kind of elaborate into some of the areas that this can really apply into. I wanted to, first of all, thank you from me personally, as always, to be here, with your busy schedule, to be part of today's show here at Business Influencers. And again, thanking you again for the opportunity to serve. Again, March 21st, March 22nd, Leadership Summit America in Albany. Again, you're going to get the information in the show notes as where you can get, learn to how you want to register and attend that event. Sharon, anything that you would like to leave with the audience? How can they get in contact with you, and anything that you'd like to share with them?
Well, they can learn more about Leadership Summit America also on my website at www.sharonburstein. That's SharonBurstein. You can always call me, email. Chris will be providing all of that wonderful information. And aside from Jeff Hoffman, who created the kiosk and Priceline, we have Chris with us. We actually have some Broadway Tony-winning producers. We have an a sportscaster who's won 11 Emmy Awards, who is speaking, social media experts, people from all walks of life in all areas of leadership. And when you bring this wonderful group, there'll be 9 major speakers, and of course, all of our panels, question and answers. But unlike a lot of events that you go to, first of all, we serve a full lunch and we have a VIP dinner and everything. But I'm all about connecting our audience together, as well as everybody who attends really is encouraged to connect to our speakers, including you, Chris, including me. Sometimes we all speak at events and we're stanchioned and put away in different areas. I like to bring people together. So if you want to meet more like-minded people from all over in different walks of life, you want to be able to ask Chris questions, you want to ask me questions, you want to ask Jeff Hoffman questions, Steve Taubman, Fern Kershaw, all these incredible people who have won these amazing awards and really are there to help build everybody who attends. So it's really going to be a very special 2 days. And I sincerely hope that some people from hearing this tonight will also be attending. So thank you for having me on.
Sharon, thank you so much for being here. And again, we strongly recommend that you attend Leadership Summit America. It is one of the shows that you actually have access to the speakers. Yes, and not just where like, hey, great talk, get a little photo and off you're on your way. No, you get to engage with them. You get to pick their brain. You get to ask intelligent questions and get great feedback and value from them. Take advantage of this. I mean, you got 2 days that you can do this. March 21st, March 22nd, Leadership Summit America. Link for the registration will be in the show notes. Sharon, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. Always a wonderful show. Everybody is it is so important that people listen to you, your wisdom, and the wonderful speakers that you have. So thanks again, Chris, for doing such an amazing job, and most of all, for being such an amazing person.
Thank you so much. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Business Influencers. Again, we are committed to your success to take your level of influence for your business and personal success to the next level. If you would like to have other types of content that have not been shared on the show that we heard here, feel free to reach out to us at Chris@ChristopherSalem.com. We'd be more than happy to take that information and consider that for a future show. So we again want to wish everybody a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Take care.